Okay, in this video, I'd like to go into some MH370 stuff here. What I started to do was I was trying to link all of these companies basically to one thing. And the company that I started with was the company that came to Rogers City, Michigan to put up all these high voltage power lines, and that company is called MJ Electric. So, MJ Electric is a company that has a base in Iron Mountain, Michigan, but their parent company is out of Texas. So, I did some research on MJ Electric before they got to Rogers City, and I found out that they were involved in some really high tech stuff, and that they weren't just any small outfit. So their capabilities are pretty astounding when you look at what they do. So I knew that there was a huge tie into everything, and so I just couldn't make all the connections until I started looking up some stuff yesterday, and it's all right in plain sight. This whole deal with Emersat is what kind of unlocked it. Once I started to find out what they do and what they were, and looking at the money behind all this stuff, it kind of tells the whole tale with this whole MH370 stuff. So, Emersat is the ones that had the satellites in place to catch the MH370 disappearance. So, these things are scanning the Earth like every 10 seconds. So, they're always watching. The other interesting thing is I was just talking about this whole thing with the USS Arthur M. Anderson and how that was the last boat to see the Edmund Fitzgerald before it sank in 1975. Okay, this thing all once again is revolving around me basically and Rogers City, Michigan. So this whole thing was founded right after basically the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, and the year I was born. So Emersat was founded in 1979. It's 45 years old. I was born in 1979, and I just turned 45 on January 9th. So I'm 45 years old. Their headquarters is London, England. So when you look at their logo here, they got three pieces to it, and that top piece is a triangle, or looks like a TR3B actually, or a pyramid. So they know the whole triplicate thing too. They know it's not a duality. So when you start looking at some of these numbers here, it gets real interesting in how these companies made these moves before 2014 when MH370 went missing, and then after the plane disappeared. So when you kind of follow the money, you can see a lot of this stuff. But then I found even more. So when this thing was founded, Emersat, in 1979, what they were, they were the present. Okay, here's what it says: the present company originates from the International Maritime Satellite Organization, Emersat, a non-profit intergovernmental organization established in 1979 at the behest of the International Maritime Organization, IMO, the United Nations maritime body. So it's a United Nations deal too. So um, the organization was created to establish and operate a satellite communications network for the maritime community in coordination with the International Civil Aviation Organization in the early 80s. So this is all joined together. So the interesting thing is that this is a Wikipedia entry, and I've done all this off the Wikipedia so far. So you're gonna see this huge other connection. So when you continue to go through the page, you come to the Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 part, dealing with the Emersat. It's just really interesting because that's the other tie-in. And the other interesting thing is they don't give a day on here. They just say in March 2014. They don't say the day that the plane went missing or any timing on it or nothing. So when you look at this whole thing, this company Emersat, it was actually sold in 2021 for 7.4 billion, and their revenue is 1.4 million. So like I said, they were formed in 1979, and in 1975 is when the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, and the Arthur M. Anderson was the last one to have contact with it and search for the boat and any of the survivors. So it's dealing with maritime admiralty law, which is the law of water. You have two things. You have the law of land and law of the water. So anything that is a product of maritime admiralty is something that is born from the water. So that's why all the ships in ancient times had to have a certificate of manifest, giving a height, a weight, measurements, and then descriptions on what the product was. So that's why when you're born, you have your birth certificate, which has all these measurements and descriptions of what they call a maritime admiralty product. So that's why you're an employee of the United States corporation that's traded 5 days a week on the New York Stock Exchange. This is how you get signed into this bogus system. Okay, as soon as your parents unknowingly sign that birth certificate, they're already saying that you're an employee of the corporation of the United States. So it's all a big scam. So when you then look at this, they're telling you what happened with Motorola. Okay, so this is a article from 2011 where they're telling you Motorola is gonna split into two firms on Tuesday. So when this happened, Motorola broke into Motorola Mobility and Motorola Solutions. So this is right before MH370. This is 2011. Not MH370 happened in 2014. So what they're showing you here is that what this company used to do, they went from consumer electronics that used to make like phones and cable boxes to the professional business of selling police radios and broadcast scanners to government agencies and large companies. So these two split. So Motorola split into these two groups here. So to continue on, this is the other piece to the puzzle that links everything that I was looking for. And what I did was I did this search right here on Yahoo. I put in Quanta Services, okay, which is the parent company of MJ Electric, which did all the work in Niger City on the high voltage transmission power lines. And this is what turned everything around in what I was looking for in the search. So I typed in Quanta Services and Immersat. So something very interesting popped up. Quanta Aviation Services. Okay, so this is how big that this umbrella deal is over the whole entire thing. Okay, so it's like this. June 2009, Quanta Services was added to the S&P 500 index, replacing Ingersoll Rand, which is another huge contractor. Okay, Quanta Services is, like I said, it's the parent company of MJ Electric. So this is how I ran the search, like I just told you, and it pops up with this Quanta Aviation Services. Quanta Aviation provides a central organization to manage, coordinate, and serve all Quanta Services aviation operations. It's the largest skilled labor force in North America, uniting over 200 companies. So this is huge. It's way bigger than I even thought it was. So its revenue is 9.466 billion, and it has 40,000 employees. Quanta Services is out of Houston, Texas, and it went public in 1998 on the New York Stock Exchange. Its ticker for the stock is PWR, power, just like the Kanye West song. So here's the other interesting tie. When you look at Freescale Semiconductor here, Freescale Semiconductor has 16,800 employees, and it has a revenue of 4.16 billion. So they're go under Freescale Semiconductor Incorporated, and it was an American semiconductor manufacturer. And it was created by the divestiture of the semiconductor products sector of Motorola in 2004, focused on automotive, embedded, and communications markets. It was bought by a private group in 2006. A private interest group bought it in 2006, and then it merged into NXP Semiconductors in 2015. So this whole Freescale semi thing, you can see how they're making their moves around everything that happened with MH370 in 2014. So here's the big breakthrough. When I did this here, I went back to MJ Electric, where I was starting from. MJ Electric, they have this division here called Power Delivery. And what did I show you that their ticker was on the stock? Power. So this is what I did next. I did this Yahoo search where I put in the words, and this is key, MJ Electric, and then I typed in Wikipedia. This came out with some very, very, very interesting search results. So, um, when you type in MJ Electric in Wikipedia in a Yahoo search, um, MJ Electric has a $300 or $300 million revenue, and they have 350 employees. But just wait, like I said, the smaller the space, the higher the capacitance. When you do this search, MJ Electric, Wikipedia, these are the pages, web pages that'll roll through. Very important. The first couple are just MJ Electric. Okay, it says MJ Electric Quanta Services. The next term that pops up, very interesting. Energy density. And they go into this whole thing. These terms are very specific for what we're talking about with MH370. Okay. The next thing that pops up, ITC selects Michigan-based MJ Electric as contractor for, and then it continues. Very interesting. The next one, MJ Electric Company profile, the next term, very interesting. Joule in Wikipedia, dealing with this whole thing. So the next term, current density. The next term, mass to charge ratio. The next term, J.J. Thomson, the founder of the so-called electron, who will tell you that an electron is simply one unit of dielectric induction. It's just negative electricity. So the whole thing is that there's the next thing, the next page is the list of SI electromagnetism units, and then the next term on the page is static electricity. That's just dielectricity. So very interesting when you type in MJ Electric in Wikipedia on a Yahoo search. Because like I'm telling you, when you roll through all this stuff and you start looking at how all this stuff links, MJ Electric is very, very important, because watch this. MJ Electric is right here. When you look at this picture, these are all the companies in Quanta. Okay? Very interesting what their logo is. It's this arrow or a snake-like. And look who is right at the spearhead of this whole deal. MJ Electric. The company that put all the high voltage transmission power lines up through Rogers City here. Like I said, the smaller the space, the higher the capacitance. All roads lead to Rome, and all roads lead to Rogers City. Thanks for watching.